That's perfect.
So we're recording.
Thank you. Okay, I'll see you in a couple.
All right. Hello, Kim. How are you? Hi. How are you?
Hi, Lindsay. Nice to see you guys. Did you have a nice Christmas?
Oh my gosh, great Christmas. All of the Lindsay has to do something for the county and she's gonna hop back. So she's like gave me the admin. So I'm recording. It's not live on Facebook, but we're recording.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's intimidating, live on Facebook.
It's okay. We'll talk about social media and lives, but we'll give you a few more minutes because we got a few more register. We've got our crew and a couple extras.
Oh, that's great. So Jackie, when are you going to start the Freeport McMoran like mentoring lessons? When's that starting?
Oh, I know it's with CCE.
Isn't it grant paid?
Yes, so that's going to be in February. So I want to talk more about that tonight.
Okay.
As well, to see what you guys want to cover, because we're going to do the course, but I want to be adding things in the background, like how Zoom works and diving more into insights and social media. And so I want to action pack it during our like office hours. So I'm super excited. So
Okay.
like, come on, people, hop on so we can get talking, get rolling.
So Jackie, did you ever read that article, or was it was a podcast, wasn't it?
Yes, and this has been a big thing that everybody's been talking about. Is Facebook ads, good? Should I be using those? Should I be doing Instagram? Facebook owns Instagram. Are the hashtags working? So that's where this class came from, because we had something totally else planned, and you sparked this great conversation. And I have this conversation just about every day with my clients or someone in a women's group or entrepreneur group. It's a controversy. So I guess, several different takes. And so we're going to give them 3 minutes. We're going to try to give them a 5 minute, and then we'll dive in, because that article by NPR, it's by experts, and there's some facts to that. There really is some facts to that. So when people are saying, oh, that's not true, that's not what's really happening, and I'm like, yeah, there's some truth to it. Let me put this over here.
Yeah, so what I was thinking was that, because they make it kind of affordable depending on where you're at, like, oh, $25 a month, it must work, right? It's Facebook.
Right.
And I'm just more skeptical, of course.
And I'm a skeptic as well of all of those kinds of things. But there is some facts, there is some good things to it that we can discuss.
Yeah, I never would get like 5,000 impressions walking around Georgetown for a couple decades. So
Yeah, but that's what I really want to talk about in social media 101. There's classes I took, there was business class, classes I paid for even this year. And then what I know from marketing in general, I think that social media and marketing can be a little deceiving when you're looking at the numbers, and you have to really set your goal and your own intention.
uh-huh.
Barking. Got a barking dog. So we're giving 1 more minute, and then we'll dive in, and they can catch the recording as well. But like we were talking about, on social media, it has so many different layers to it. Social media, people used to just say, I'm on social media. That used to just mean I have a website. Now it's like, oh, I have Facebook. You know what I mean? Now you got MeWe, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. And there's just so many different ways to view social media marketing, which we didn't think about even 5 or 10 years ago. It used to be like Facebook, which a lot of people still do cling to Facebook after MySpace. I don't know if you remember that, MySpace and things like that. So for the most part, I wanted to talk about Facebook. Any social media platform you have can be deceiving. I know that a lot of people, so this is my disclaimer on social media and marketing from the gate. Just because you don't have thousands of likes or hundreds of likes, don't think that people are not seeing your content and not finding value in your content. Let's see, Megan's coming in. So we got someone coming in. So I almost got started and now someone's coming in. So let's see. Hello, Megan. Hey, how are you? This is pretty informal, so you can unmute and say hello. Sorry, my dog is being silly in the back. I'm not sure why. No why. But I just was starting to get started. Oh, hello.
Sorry. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, you're not late, because I always give like a 5-minute buffer. So I did 30 seconds early and then.
Hi, Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi. I've only been on Zoom a couple of times and I just got home from work. So I just wanted to sign on and I just have to do a couple of things for a couple of minutes and I'll be right back.
Megan, I loved your massage. I felt so great the other day.
Oh, great.
You were so gentle and effective. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's good. This is very informal. We like the talk. I like the chit chatter at. I tell people that all the time. I love that part of everything. So what we were talking about is in social media, it can be really deceiving because Kim just talked about in the last one was, hey, is Facebook ads even worth it? NPR did a big thing with experts saying that it may not be as worth it as what we were talking about. And then Kim says, I'm a skeptic. And I'm like, I'm skeptical as well. But there's reasons and things behind the skepticism. So I was just starting to intro into that. So with social media, please make sure in your mind that, you know, it used to be, oh, social media was like, I have a website. Then it was like, I got MySpace and then Facebook took over. Now we got Instagram, MeWe, LinkedIn. I mean, there's so many platforms that are happening all the time now. It's actually kind of hard to keep up. It's becoming very overwhelming because people are like, I have to be on the online space. I have to get out there. I got to get out there. That's what we are always talking about, getting out there. But on social media, I want you guys to remember that just because hundreds and thousands of people you're not going viral, doesn't mean that you're not talking to your ideal client and people don't see value in what you're saying. So that is my social media marketing disclaimer. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of that, because if you're just looking at someone's business page, that may give you a certain look of what you see. So you may just be like, I'm Facebook. So I'm looking at her Facebook business page. So I'm going to go to, Wildling Botanicals on mine. Hopefully my internet wants to work. All of a sudden it's like, let's go slow. Let's go slow. Let's go slow. So on here, this is my social media page for Wildling Botanicals. So this is my background. This is what you see in the background. It's all telling me, do this, integrate your Instagram, blah, 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 blah. And then you see like my reaches and everything is down. So you guys see this?
Yeah.
So it looks like, oh, Jackie's doing horrible. Oh my gosh, no one is looking at Wildling Botanicals right now. And that's what you see. But what you don't see is I was running some type of advertisement in Facebook. I was doing a Facebook ad for a while. So notice I toggled this for the last 7 days, and then it looks like magically she's up. The last month she looked down, but now she's up. So I always use this as an example, and I'm glad this is right after the holidays. So it's after Black Friday. It's after the 12 days of Christmas. So it looks like I was down, and then I can toggle something, It's saying that I've reached this many people, I've had 50 engagements, I've gotten 2 additional likes to my page. You can see me talking, and you're like, oh, well, she got 1 like. Well, that's not a lot of likes. That's not good. I must be doing something wrong. You know, and that's how we feel, don't you think, when you look at social media? You're like, no one's there. No one's there. But if I go back to my personal page, so social media, you are your brand.
You are your what?
You are your own brand. You are the first face of your brand. It's not necessarily your business page. And that was one thing that I learned. So I don't know if you hear an echo. I think that may be me. Sorry. But so you are your brand. So if you look at my personal page, this is where it really starts. Now, I'm not saying you have to have your personal page out there for the whole world to see and everything public, but on my page, this is where social media starts. I'm my brand. So you see that I have my holistic, I have my picking stuff in the back, I got my picture. I have that I'm a holistic brand strategist, I'm an herbalist, I am a skin nutritionist, I'm a speaker. That is where I started my branding. How do I want the world to see me? Friends, foes, clients, whoever. You know, how do I want them to see me? And then on the side, you see my business pages here. I have my consulting on here. I have Wildling Botanicals, I have Wildling Herbs, what high school I went to, my credentials, just, you know, basic credentials, where I live, where I'm from. People are like, where's Jones? And I'm like, outside of Norman. Like, you get lost trying to get there, probably. You'd be like, why did Jackie grow up here? So I have all of those things on there. I have all the way down to, I have Instagrams, Wildling Botanicals, Wildling Dreams, I have Twitter. And you're probably like, Jackie, I'm not trying to be all those places. That is just too much. That is just too much. I totally understand that aspect, but I'm doing this to show that my brand is me.
Got it.
And what I want to portray to the world. So I even had that 3 hours ago, my daughter, she is 3 and she made some monster trucks. So, and I'm really big about family. So I'm like, look, my daughter has monster trucks. She drew that herself, and she drew that cat. I'm like, that actually looks like a cat. She's 3. I'm like, this is awesome. And people are like, well, that's not relevant, Jackie. Why would I have my Facebook page like this? But like I said, my brand is me. This is Wildling Herbs. This is my daughter's eating a vine-ripe tomato like an apple, you know, and then look, I have 15 comments on that. So people get to see a sense of who I am. So same thing with like my business page. I showed you guys, it looks like I'm down. It looks like there's something wrong. But when you're building your social media, you do need to have a personal profile. People do look. People do look, even if it's just your picture and hi. Like, people do try to see who owns this page. Who is that person? Is she genuine? You know, is she genuine or whatever? So on here, I have like the pages. So we were talking about pages. And I think, Kim, you said something like, did you want to know how to build a Facebook page?
I don't know. I find it kind of difficult. Like, I just posted this evening and shared, and it just seems so clunky. And then like over a month ago, I have a Facebook page. I have a personal, and then I have a business. And then it kind of went to Business Suite, which is like a whole different ball of wax. So I'm having to kind of relearn how to do everything over again, like including, you know, posting and things. See, I don't see even Facebook Suite on here.
So, and that's the kicker. They did the formatting. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So there was the old way of Facebook, then the new way. And then now when you click on something, it opens up a whole nother tab, and it's like publish through the suite. You do not have to use that.
How do you get rid of it? Like, I mean, it's geared towards selling you their advertising.
Yes. So you're talking about create a post in the business suite, this right here, and then create a post in Facebook. So that is what the difference is. To get back to the old way, create one in Facebook. I just took something random. You know, this is how you get back to the old way. This is how you, so when you're on there, I'm going to discard this. Make sure you're not creating the create in the business suite, because that's when you get that whole other tab. Then you're trying to figure out how to publish and things like that. So I'm going to click on that. So if you haven't had time to play around with it, you're talking about this. It's going to load super slow. All of a sudden, internet wackadooness. But this is what you're talking about. Start saying about activities and inbox and who's been talking to you, and now you got to create this post, and now it's popping up all these screens, and it can be overwhelming. So stay with the basics and just stay exactly where it says create in Facebook, and you'll have all of the same functions as well.
Okay, so that's good to hear, because I don't know what I hit, but I always end up like in Business Suite, and then I search for the house.
Right. Home, get me
like-
out. Get me out.
It's like the Hotel California. You can never leave. And eventually somehow I like click out and go back, but oh my word.
Yes, and that's the wonders of Facebook. And I say it like, oh, the wonders of Facebook. Yes, it's always changing. So there's been some new changes, like Instagram used to be all hashtags. You should be able to search by hashtags. Facebook is now saying that we need to use hashtags.
Oh.
So that's another thing. So if you look on my page, I'm going to collapse this on the recording. So if you look, like when I reposted about tonight, I used hashtags: economic development, social media marketing strategy, and my hashtag. So hashtags are just quick ways, as we talked about in a couple of classes before, quick ways that we can search with a topic. So over here, you see that someone else is using the hashtags. They're having a great progress in their, tractor supply company. This person is with the National Rural Economic Development Association. So this is good ways for people to search economic development. So if you put hashtag hiking and someone is searching by a hashtag, that's going to pull up everything you're doing. If you put on there outdoor activity, it's going to show all of those things. Yep. So they're integrating Facebook and Instagram now to be very similar.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't go so complicated because that's what I started with Instagram, and Facebook feels like complicated and clunky. And my teenage daughters are like, why do you boomers use that awful platform? Just stick with Instagram and TikTok.
Well, that's the wonders of Instagram. If you have the Instagram app, let me pull up my phone. If you have the app, you can post on Instagram and share it to your Facebook. So
I've been doing that.
So that's what I was going to say. That's what you do. If you hate it, don't use it. Just get it on there. So all you do is on your app or whatever it is on your app, post as normal. Push your X and put in your stuff as normal, and then toggle. It'll say at the very bottom, after you type everything, you put your location, just be like, put to my Facebook page, and then set it and forget it.
Yep, doing that. Someone told me though that you should still post directly to your Facebook because 30% of the time, so that the algorithms will find you. But there's no way, I can't figure out a way to post to Facebook and have it share to Instagram. It doesn't work.
Nope, it's Instagram to Facebook. Right. I think with a lot of the integrating things, that I am still asking people that specialize just in Facebook and Instagram marketing, they're integrating them together. So that may not always be the case, because 2 weeks ago, I started seeing some changes. And a month ago, I was like, they're going to start making us do hashtags on Facebook, because they kept suggesting, add hashtag clean beauty, add hashtag economic development. So then I just started adding them, and then they did announcement, use hashtags. And I was like, well, okay, you know. So that's the kicker of everything is, and like I said, back to the deceiving thing. So I'm showing you guys, but I did want to talk about other social media platforms because look, and I changed it. You're like, oh, Jackie's doing so poorly. Oh no, no one's seeing. She's only eight people. You know, I'm being so sarcastic, but like, she's not, but that's why I said the deceiving thing was social media. And you're talking about Instagram. So I post the exact same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The same words, the same pictures. So then we get a whole nother view of this is Wildling Botanicals. I posted the same thing. You saw, this is case study. You were like, Jackie only got 1 like on that video. Horrible. No one saw it, you know? Then I go to Instagram and I have 33 people that have seen it and I have 4 comments. You saw my other post. No one was responding. No one, you know, 19 people liked it. My self-care post. Same thing, 34 here. You also saw that there was a lot of zeros, 40, 60, 71, 35, 64. List goes on and on. I can go down my page. And with social media, business goes down in the DMs. Direct messaging is if someone comments on my post and we get in a conversation, I take that social media conversation to the DM or PM, whatever, personal message, direct message. And that's another thing. People say, well, you only on, oh, here, I can go back. On my Wildling Botanicals page, I have over, I think like 5,300 likes on my Facebook. On here, I only have 682. But if I go to my messages, look how active I am in my messages. 1 hour ago, someone messaged me now, 25 minutes ago, someone's active now. And then you can start seeing yesterday, I talked to someone. This is actually a company that makes volcanic mineral water. I've been talking to them. I love their water. And I said something and they messaged me privately. How much do you like our water? You know, so look at all of this happening in the DM. These are people that I've collaborated with, did Instagram lives on. I did features. I'm going to be featured on here. This is someone that lives in Idaho Springs. That's a really good post. I really like what you said. This is a beauty expert. So looking at the face of someone's business on Facebook, you never really know. This is endometriosis. I talked to a lot of people that have that. Patty Beauty. I follow her. So looking at the face of someone's dashboard does not determine how active they are on social media. I keep repeating it and showing you guys that in different ways because I think now with social media, they have really pushed, if you don't have the mega millions, that you're not making money and no one sees you.
All right, so I have a question, Jackie. I totally get what you're saying. I feel so much better.
Okay.
But so my question is, like, when you go in and you get comments, like people comment on a post or they ask a question, instead of staying on there, there's a way to like message them in Messenger, like the lightning bolt. You should just respond in there, or
are you talking on either or? So just like I don't think I have any comments on here. Because a lot of people don't comment on Facebook on me. So I'm going to use Instagram. Is that okay to talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
On Instagram, I'm going to come over here. So on Instagram, people like my post. And if they comment, let me see if I can roll down to a comment. But I commented on someone else's and they said, oh my gosh, I love what you said or whatever. If I want to continue that conversation, I can click on them and go to messages if I'm following them. But I'm going to find a message on here that's on my page, preferably, because you can see I communicate a lot on Instagram. So,
So I had a person say, are beginners okay? I'm like, yeah, I love beginners, but I just put the reply right on the page. I didn't really consider that I could personally message, although everyone should know that beginners are okay, right?
Well,
wanna have
but if people don't tell you, you don't know. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. If no
Yeah.
one articulates that that's okay, then, you know, so I do that. So on here, this is my post. It's going to open up in a box and be like calendula oil, facial serum, woohoo, it's on sale. And then, so
Nice.
I have that. But if you look down here, Rachel says, like, love calendula so much for my skin. So I replied to her. I'm scroll down so you can see, you know, and I just said, yeah, I was like, my skin loves calendula. It's like, you know, my body's nectar. And I just made a joke. You know what I mean? And she laughed. She's like, yeah, just like mine, like roses. And so now we have a conversation. And conversations on your thread do feed the algorithm. So you are following up. Don't ever have someone comment on your page and not reply. Yeah, you're on the right track. But if you want to do it into the DMs, see, I hovered over it, message them.
Oh, okay.
Or you can actually fully click into their page and, you know, and go that way. You're like, oh, that's her story. You can get into their page and you could see, oh, what are they talking about? Maybe we talked about some of the same things. And then now I can go to the, you know, her messages, which is up here, or on the app, it'll say messages. And now we can talk. I saw that you commented on my post and you said this. Could you, like, I would love to talk to you more about that. Or if they say, oh my gosh, I would love to hike in that location. You're like, oh, have you been to, you may go to the DM afterwards and like, hey, have you been to that location? Right now, it's super beautiful. I was just up there. And you may start a whole nother dialogue. And like I said, business goes down in the DM. The amount of times that I went Instagram live and someone said, well, I have that problem. I have whatever, you know, I have super dry skin, and I answer it in the live. And then afterwards, I'm like, she really was asking me some questions. So she commented. So I go in the DM and say, hey, you said you had some skin issues. Did I answer all of your questions? And she's like, actually, I didn't want to take over the live, but I have this question, this question, and this question. I answer it. Then boom, bam, I actually have, you know, someone not just liking what I said and talk. Now I have a conversation and rapport. Now they're on my website. Now they're buying products. And then they're like, Jackie, thank you so much, because that's what I needed to purchase your product. So like I said, social media can be deceiving when it comes to that. Same thing, you can do that on Facebook. If someone likes your page or something, you can see that. Let me see if I can take this pin up on what shares. So when someone likes your page, and then have you seen all these new flags and pages too, Kim? Because I know we were talking. So these are notifications, like people have liked my pages, people have communicated, I've gotten more views. Let me get off of that, because no telling what Facebook's going to show us when you get on your news feed. But you can go and message anyone the same way you would do on your personal page. If someone's talking to you and showing interest, you got to connect.
Yeah.
That, like I talked about, that know you, like you, trust you, buy from you factor. The only way you can do that is to connect. And saying, hey, I saw that you were on my page. Usually people aren't weirded out. They're like, oh, you did? You're a real person? You're a company? You know, you're not just a company, you're a person. And then you can go and cultivate that relationship. And I brought up, you know, over here, you know, like with my different pages. I have several different pages. Like I said, I garden, I have wildling herbs. People may say, oh my gosh, you know, I looked at one of her media pages and it just didn't look very active. But that's not a real full view of what, you know, what's going on in someone's business. You know, I post things about, they painted that rock. I thought that was crazy. I'm like, that's a painted rock, you know? And I'm like, well, that's a really cool thing. And then I posted things about the benefits of sunflowers. and it's like no one liked it. But then it's like I come down to here, let's see if it loads. Then my daughter once again eating a tomato. I have 5 people that have liked it or said something. They didn't comment, but I can always go over here and hover and see who those people are. Oh, I should invite these people to my page. If you didn't know that, that's a trick. But then I can message them. If they started a conversation, I could message them and say, hey, I know I'm just the owner of this page, but I saw that you interacted. I have this sale going on. Or you could say I have a free ebook. Or, hey, do you like tomatoes? I mean, I've said some really silly stuff and gotten some really good conversations going. So all of those things I believe are relevant, for the real genuine connection with social media. So, and I make sure, because I know someone else is on here, so make sure. So Brandy, if you have anything, it's informal, unmute or pop something in the chat. I will make sure I respond. But this is kind of a continuation of me and Kim's conversation that we've had. She had this great article by NPR or podcast, and it was talking about Facebook ads, or if advertisement is basically a waste of money. Actually, I should come back over here. Is it a waste of money? Is it going to, are we basically throwing our money into the wind and it getting blown away? And I will say yes and no.
Okay.
So there it is. I finally said it. I waited a little while. Yes and no.
So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I want to ask, are you talking about the money that you throw away through Facebook by like trying to drum up likes and ranking?
Yes. So we'll talk about that. So, that, which wasn't in the article, but people buy likes. They buy comments. Do not do that. Don't do it. I don't care if they say you can give $100 and get 10 million likes. Do not do that. Those are fake programs, bots, and Facebook is starting to find those profiles. And if you have an excessive amount, they will lock you out of your Facebook account. They will lock you out of the Instagram, because they will think that you are a phony. Do not buy likes.
Okay.
So there's a very direct, don't do it. No. If they message you, when people message me that stuff, I block them. I actually go out of my way and say, no, thank you. I don't block, delete the message, because you don't want Facebook thinking that you are buying likes. Kim, did you have something?
Yeah. So is that different than a boost? Because like I must get 10. Boost your post. Like I must get like 15 of them every day. Boost this picture for blah, blah, blah.
And it says, oh, your engagement is 85% higher. Do you want to boost it to reach whatever? So then you click. So this is that boost button.
Where?
So right here, boost.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I'm going to click it for dramatic effect. So to boost, and then it'll ask you a bunch of questions, and you're probably like, I don't know what any of this is. All I see is it's going to cost me $10 to reach 163 people to this really big number, 472. And you're like, I need to boost it. I need to reach those people. And then you're over here lost because you're trying to figure out, should I send them a message button? I don't know what that means. Do I tell them to book now? I don't know what that means. And from my experience, the boost button is dangerous. Because you were telling Facebook that find a audience between 18 and 65 that lives in the United States.
It's kind of big.
Because like we talked about in another branding class, you have to have an ideal client. You have to have a niche market. Why are you talking to an 18-year-old if you're only targeting people between 33 and 43 that have kids in Idaho Springs? When you click that boost button, you're literally throwing your money out into the cosmos. And that's what that article is more talking about, Kim. As people are pushing these boost buttons, $10 here, $10 here, $10 here, $1,200 later, 12 months later, you have got no leads and you're saying ads don't work. Well, you didn't have an ideal client. You boosted into the oblivion. You really did. And just because it says you're going to reach 133 to 47, it's only like 0.07 or something I read in the article that actually engaged with the post. So you got to divide that by like 7% of those people, or even not even zero. You know what I mean?
All right. So my takeaway is then a boost is not an ad. A boost is like a broad term. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's basically you're telling Facebook, go find someone that looks like somebody I would want to talk to,
Yeah.
and put it on their feed, which means they're going to be scrolling. When they
Yeah.
scroll past your ad, that considers that they showed them something. They may never clicked it, engaged in it, or anything else. But boost buttons, like I said, are dangerous. I'm going to come over here to Wildling Botanicals and show you guys something a little different.
So it's like looking for a warm body, the boost.
Yeah.
Got it.
And you don't know where it's going.
Yeah. Okay.
Know where it's going. So I went over here to this boost one, and notice it's the same $10, but it says that you're only going to reach 81 people, max 242. And this is where people get confused, because they're like, well, why is the reaches so much less for this boost? Have you seen that, Kim, and seen that in your experience? That you're just like, why is it the boost saying this and that? So this is what that article in NPR was talking about. People are boosting thinking it's reaching the same amount of people, and it's not. Facebook, you are bidding like eBay. That's the best way to explain, for an audience attention. You are actually bidding. So skincare right now is very hot. Black Fridays just happened. All the Christmas stuff just happened, and we're going into the new year. So it's all self-care, wellness, get your year. So it is more expensive for a skincare industry or a wellness person to do an ad right now, because it's a hot thing. It's in vogue. It's in vogue. So I wanted to show you guys the background of that. But what is different with this one is, notice when you look under my audience, there's some different information, audience details. You can edit these things. So if you choose to boost, you can toggle and say, I only want to talk to these people. And look at this bottom number down here. This number will change on the potential. Like right now it says all. I may say, I want to talk to women. See how that narrowed down your audience. Then you can add things like this. I'm going to put hats, see if hats comes up. I can talk to people that like hats, or honey that's saying all this stuff. I can do whatever you can add in to narrow down your target audience, and then add it. The more specific you can be, if you do choose to do an ad, depending on your industry, or if you want to do that, the more specific you can be, the better your dollar will be spent. You can even go down to, let me just go down, see if it lets me scroll. Well, it's not letting me. You can add locations here. So I can put Denver. I can put Los Angeles. You know what I mean? So if there's an actual area and place that you're trying to target, you can do that. So if you do choose to do ads, boosting button, I'm going to say it's bad. Don't boost the button. Don't touch it. If you decide to do ads, depending on, you're like, I had a super great class that I'm doing, and I do have a marketing budget. And that's one thing in the NPR thing. They say that everybody can do ads. You can do a $2 ad and a $10 ad, but from what I've been learning, and my assistant just took a college class actually on this, if you're not working with a high level budget, and I'm talking about like $1,600, it can be very hard to get through the noise on Facebook, because you have to throw real money at it. So I think that is why that NPR article was so good. And it was really kind of telling people, are you throwing your money out there? Are you using that boost button? Are you, are you really doing the best thing you can do for your brand? And I have found in my experience, people are seeing you. They may not be commenting, but people are always watching. People are always watching. Like I showed you the difference. My Facebook looks dead, but I have a whole bunch of likes. So you're like, what's wrong with that? There's something wrong with her page. Then I showed you on Instagram the same post. I can take you over to my LinkedIn, which is look at all the notifications and how many messages and people that want to be added to my market, just from going on there. But my LinkedIn is a whole nother beast. You know what I mean? Like how many people viewed my, my page? How many posts do I have? How many times I appeared in searches?
Jackie, oh,
Yes,
excuse
yeah.
me. I have a question for you in regards to multiple platforms, like you're talking with LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If I'm going to be like sending out, let's say, a newsletter to my client list, and I give a little tip, let's say, in the newsletter. Thus far, I'm not good at refreshing my platforms pages, so they're very stagnant. If I am feeling mentally stagnant, let's say, is it okay to be redundant with those tips in the newsletter that I send to Facebook, that I send to Instagram? Like, I have to keep things.
You can do that. I know exactly where you're going. If you're
Okay.
stagnant, and my thing is, and that's why I'm just showing you guys a bunch of social medias. But let's get down to the real tips, because I love doing tips. Kim knows. I love doing tips. So in social media, I always say, why did you start? That's your story. Why did you get in the business? It's not going to say, I just want to make money. Like, no, I mean, that's not enough to be sustainable when things are high and low. After you know your why, what do you want to be known for? Pick 3 to 5 things on social media. And you may be like me, I'm saying Wyland Botanicals. I want them to know ingredients matter, ingredient sourcing matters, what clean beauty looks like. And I want to talk about how some skincare products can be harmful to the body. And those are my 4 things. And I talk about self-care. That's my 5th one, which is a given.
That's your reason for being in the business.
Yes. So those are my reasons to be in the business. And that's what I want my audience to know me for. If they think self-care, I want them to think Jackie for Wyland Botanicals. Like I want them to be the same thought. And those 5 things is all I post about. I am on repeat. I say it in a different way. I may not say ingredients matter, but I'm gonna be like, calendula is natural vitamin C, and then next time I'm gonna talk about, I know where my ingredients come from because I farmed them myself. I stay on repeat. So you should be on repeat.
So you have categories and then you have subcategories all the time.
Yep. And so basically I stay on repeat because I want to be known for that. So if you're a doctor and you want them to know that you're the best physician, or what field are you in, Megan? I don't know what you do.
Massage therapy.
Okay, so if you're massage therapy, you want them to know that you have the best cupping technique. If you do cupping, you want them to know that you do deep massage. You specialize in people that are post and pre-surgery. I specialize in foot massage with people that have arthritis. My client says that she has, you see what I'm saying? You keep it. What do you want to be known for? It's usually what you love. It's something that you love. Right. And those are the things you talk about. Sure. Oh, I just saw a patient today and she just was having such bad lower back. And I had to do, a massage. And I noticed that this vertebrae or whatever, I like massages. So I'm always thinking like, this is great, but you may want to talk about, I use this essential oil because it has that aroma and it's relaxing, or things like that. So those are the things. Pick 3 to 5 things on your social media and put yourself on repeat. You want them, because if you start talking about so much, you're talking about too much. And while you're talking about one thing, you're losing another, like you're losing your ideal client.
Okay.
So if you, so with massage therapy, I mean, that's a great one. Because right now, self-care is important. If you're talking about self-care and self-massage, people are going to follow you. People are going to watch. They may not comment because they don't want to seem silly, but they're going to be like, what's that pressure point? Should I be, okay, yeah, I probably need to get a massage, or I've been sitting at my desk a lot longer. Maybe I need to get up and move around. Those are key things that, you know what I mean, that people can relate to. But I am on repeat. And sometimes I do the same post. 45 days later, a month later, I may say the exact same thing. But I still get people saying, oh, I never heard that before. So you want to, you have to be known for, for something, and I think with social media, like I said, it can be deceiving. I want you guys to know that out the gate. Don't use the boost button. Don't buy likes. Know your why. Know what you want to be, known for. And then at the end, where do you want your business to go? Don't talk about things that you don't want your business to go. If you're a massage therapist and you don't want to do foot massages, don't tell people about those foot massages.
Yeah.
But if you're doing hikes and you're about adventure and you don't want to do stuff in certain seasons, don't talk about it. Because then people are going to be like, oh, do you snowshoe up to St. Mary's? And you're probably going to be like, no, I don't. Please don't. Things like that. You want to make sure you're tailoring it to what your audience, likes. Because that know, like, and trust factor. And then they'll buy from you. So, like, I'm just like, I have this. I'm like, I want people to know my ingredients matter. Like I just said that. So it shows my ingredients. That means something to me. Do I post this just about every month in a different way? Yes, I do. But I'm always getting new followers. I'm also telling my old followers that I am serious. You said something about being stagnant in your posting. You don't have to post every day. You don't have to. You may post once a week. That may be like Monday, I'm going to post. I'm going to create 4 posts for this month, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to take a picture of something. It can be as simple as that. Whatever posting schedule you want to do, stick with it. So if that's 1 post a week, 2 posts a week, post every day, do what makes you feel comfortable. But when you start posting, don't stop. Don't stop posting.
Okay.
So for you, that may be that 1 day a week. Yeah. So people always say, you're just on so many social media platforms. You hinted on that. I am on a lot because I was at first trying to figure out which platform I like. That's why I'm on a lot. Instagram is good for scrollers and doing Instagram lives to do live videos. For Facebook, I'm on there because I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and I do collaborations with people. So that's why I have Facebook. And LinkedIn is my business to business platform.
Right. Yeah.
Do I sit on here 5-6 hours a day? No, or I wouldn't have all these notifications. I'm not doing all that. I schedule a time, I time block, which I talked about time management. Social media has to be time blocked and there has to be time management. Do not get zombied out on 5 different platforms and be like, oh my gosh, I'm on so many platforms. I can't keep up, because that's not going to help. So, and like I said, why, what you want to be known for and where your business is going. I know with me, I have a skincare line. So people want to see, oh, Alive products. How do you use them? Me washing my face. They want to see that. Business to business, I have a consulting business. That's my 16 plus years of experience in management, working with corporate to everything else. So I'm on a business platform. When I go over here, I do set an intention. Do I want to talk to a podcast person today? Do I want to write magazine articles? So I'm on here for a specific purpose. So that is what I really want you guys to think about more is, why did you start? What do you want to be for? And then where do you want to see your business go? Those 3 questions, I mean, it's going to build the foundation, because we're going to start some more classes in February. I believe that's going to be when Dream Builder starts. That's when we're going to have a private Facebook group, and we're going to start building up your social media. We're going to start building up how do you use Zoom, building up how that Facebook ads really work. We're going to start building that foundation. But if you don't know those 3 things, it's really hard to build anything in your business. So I wanted to put that in there today, and just showing you guys a little about me. Like, what do I do? You know, and it's not perfect. I made some mistakes. I used that boost button and threw some money in the garbage, you know, I did. Then I boosted and I got 1 comment, and I was like, oh, yay. And then I'm like, they didn't go to my website, you know? So all of those things, we do trial and error. And it's all about where you want your business to go. Like right here, I said 332 followers, but these are business owners, or someone that I want to attract, my niche market. So to me, that's gold. I know exactly who these people are. I know exactly what companies they work for. I know exactly everything about them. I can look at their metrics, what cities they live in, how often they engage with my page, who liked it. I can go to her profile. See, and that's good. She's a beauty brand specialist. She's following me. Let's be saying something good if somebody in a competitor or in someone in my industry is saying it. And so those are the things I wanted to talk about more today. Kim, did I answer? You want me to talk more about what the Dream Builders is going to look like and what you can expect from the next set when we're going into the curriculum? She's muted. You're muted.
I know how to use Zoom. Yeah.
Half the time I was muted when I got on here.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to be take part in the Dream Builders. Yeah, so what does it look like in Dream Builders?
So I'll just say, I guess, and then Lindsay can elaborate. So Dream Builders is a woman entrepreneur curriculum, and it is geared towards women by women to help us grow and fill out all the gaps in our business, all the little frustrations that we may, how to connect, niche market, branding, what that looks like, how to get out there, how to connect, how to collaborate, things that I've talked about the last, like, basically 5-6 weeks with CCEDC. We're going to start building basically your business or revamping it if you already have an existing business. So we're going to talk about QuickBooks and how to do that if you don't have a platform. I'm going to teach you how to use Zoom. I'm going to actually talk about if you want to be featured on something. Like my products have been on Fox 2 times. I just wrote 2 magazine articles this Monday because I'm going to be in magazines coming up. I'm going to talk about if you don't want to talk at all and you just want to have a special guest to talk for you, how to get that special guest for free. I can talk about how you can do that stuff. And I'm going to make it simple. I mean, right now we're kind of fire hosing, I feel, because it's like we got an hour, 6 weeks, and I'm talking really fast. And I'm like, there's value here. But we're going to slow it down with the modules. You'll have little things you can go through self-paced. And then we're going to do office hours. We decided like once a week, I'm going to come on and say, did you do your modules? Do you have some questions? And we're going to talk about your specific thing, your specific hang up or whatever it is, so you can build out and build your brand the way that you want. Make your dreams come true, wildling dreams. I really believe that our dreams are unique and in us for a reason. People are waiting on us to get out there and say whatever that is. And the Dream Builder program is going to help you build it and actually get it to your ideal client and make it profitable and fun, because it has to be fun all at the same time. Did I hit it all, Lindsay? I don't know if you had said something.
Yeah. So one of
the cool things about Dream Builders. So as you probably know, we work closely with Henderson Mine, and Freeport McMoRan has a lot of cool things out there available to us. Dream Builder being one of the programs that's been developed. And down the road, I mean, and as Jackie mentioned, it is geared towards women. We could expand, but to this first round, we're going to get our group of women. In fact, the woman I was here with is like, I want to join. So I think it's going to be a really great group of Clear Creek women, Gilpin. We're opening it up to Grand County as well. So we'll be able to learn from each other. I love Jackie. I love having Jackie on board because she brings so many cool tools and energy to all of this. And so, it's not going to be your like ho-hum standard thing. It's going to be really customized to what we as entrepreneurs in Clear Creek County need to be able to grow and succeed. So I'm super excited about it. ClearCreekEDC.org is our website. And you can also check on social media. We'll be posting. I'm also getting better about getting more posts up. And I have to say, I was going to mention Kim, you've been killing it on social media. That post you had with the Christmas sweater was awesome.
So you did it and you liked it? Did you like your Christmas sweater?
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. So yeah, just stay in touch with us on checking on the website. Feel free to reach out to me or Jackie, and we'll get the information out. We're looking at probably like mid-February, I think. But we
need it now.
I know, right?
But that's the kicker. We're always here. You saw it. If you can't find me on social media now, we got a problem. I'm everywhere. So reach out.
So, and then other thing I wanted to mention is we've been following all the stimulus stuff very closely, and we're hoping by next week to have some more details on what's going on with round 2 of PPP. So we will be having kind of an on its own webinar on financial opportunities to help your business due to COVID related challenges. So also keep a lookout for that. We'll talk PPP and anything else that might be that might apply. So again, this was so much fun. This is our last of our 6 webinars that we did, but we will be checking back in February with everybody. And then also, again, I will make sure to post on social media more information on that financial assistance webinar as well.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you're following. If you're not following Clear Creek EDC, that's what I think what it is, Clear Creek EDC. Make sure you're following that page for updates. And I always share stuff on Wildling Dreams Consulting on there. And in the new year, which I guess is a couple of days, I'm going to start posting 3 or 4 times a week, business tips. I even put something on my Wildling Dreams page. Like people were like, how do you do Amazon drop ship? That course is $1,000. I'm like, right now it's $35. So there's been a lot of different tools that I'm trying to make sure you guys can fill your toolbox with if you want to take stuff in the meantime before we get started. But please reach out to Lindsay. Please reach out to me. It's the new year. So you may have some goals that you want to talk through. And I do, consulting for you guys. Discovery calls for 30 minutes for free. Everybody else, it's 15. So if you guys are seeing this, call me out and say, I saw this live. I saw this video. So I can help you guys with this conversation on the discovery call. So you can get on Wildling Dreams Consulting on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, message me, and we'll set up a call. I'll Zoom it, record it, and we can answer those 3 questions for you. Why did you get started? What do you want to be known for? If you're not sure, we can talk through that. And then where you see your business going, because in February, I really feel that this is going to build your business where you want it to go. And you're going to have a really good profitable outcome because you did the good foundation.
One of the other things I wanted to mention as well is check out on our website. We have the COVID-19 business accreditation program, and we're constantly updating that with curriculum that's that you can, again, get badges for your storefronts. If you have a physical storefront, you can advertise that you're COVID certified in Clear Creek County
Oh,
on your website. So check that out. I still have a form that I'm putting together that I'll have on the website so you can request your badges. And actually, I have them right here. So this is the Clear Creek Stay the Course sticker, and then the 5 categories you can request. Whoops, my badges in each 5 categories. But regardless, even if the badges aren't your thing, there's a lot of great curriculum that we've put on there. The SBA, Small Business Administration, has an entire like university of courses. And I actually just put out a blog post today directing you to those. They have a lot of marketing and building business plans, a lot of similar things to what we've been covering, but just, more details for you. So feel free to check out our website and the different educational opportunities that are listed there as well. I guess I'm rambling now, so that's all.
But it's good to recap because I didn't have my presentation like I normally do. But Lindsay, like if they go to the CCEDC website, all of the webinars, if you've missed them, they are in their evergreen. So you can actually view all the webinars you missed and get the workbooks and presentation is on the website. So if you're like, why does Jackie keep referring to Kim and why does she keep like, it's because we've been doing this, but you can always go back between now and February. You got about 6 weeks. So you got 6 weeks to recap. See, you can recap of the things that we talked about. Branding, we talked about, self-care, and if you have an employees, what to do in your business. We talked about financial stability. We talked about how is your business running. So it could be for established business, or if you're like, I'm just getting started, but I need to be thinking about those things. So and then she talked about, Lindsay had a great one on collaboration and how that's important. So that's a good foundation. So in between everything, you could probably go back and relearn, redo it, make sure you have a good foundation in the things that are already taught. And like I said, there's workbooks on there as well. So you can actually fill it out and see what you're looking at as well into the new year.
Now, what website is that again? Is that the Clear Creek EDC?
Yeah, clearcreekedc.org. And if you click on, I haven't put the SBA curriculum into the COVID section yet, but it is listed under business resources. And if you scroll down, there's a link to the SBA courses there. We're also always posting any kind of grant opportunities. We have a lot of information about the various loan programs that we run through CCDC. And usually I do a little spiel at the beginning of, I'm Lindsay Valdez and I'm with Clear Creek Economic Development. And we run a revolving loan fund in the county. We are a 501c6 nonprofit, and we work very closely with the county, City of Idaho Springs, Empire, Georgetown, Silver Plume. We're kind of all over the place. But yeah, so, okay, it's under business leadership and mentorship.
So, but I'm just showing people, I'm like, you're talking, I'm just scrolling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the resources she said, they just go on and on. So there's lots of stuff there. And then that's the accreditation that she was talking about. Let's see.
And I will get that SBA stuff up there, but again, it's in a couple other places. If you go to the news section, we have a blog that I use to post information, and I also put it on Facebook this morning, so you can get to the SBA.
These are the credits. And there's the calendar. So the ones that you missed, you can toggle, but you can go back and you can view them. So they're here, and then right here, take the course.
And everything in there is free. There is nothing in there that is being charged for. So we wanted to kind of curate a database of resources that, we felt were valuable, that weren't going to cost anything. So yeah, and I haven't had a chance to do all of them. I do want to check out the SBA. They have one that's geared towards women as well, and just see kind of what those are like. So yeah, I'd love some feedback too. If you find one that you really like, send it my way and I can add it to the database. And then I need to get this up for a couple of our last two, but we also have for these webinars a little link to the YouTube video, and we have a YouTube channel where we're posting all those. So it's a very interactive website. We're constantly updating it with different resources and things. So you can check back anytime and usually find something new. We're trying to be kind of a one-stop shop for just COVID related resiliency strategies and grants and loans and connecting with the county and city and being a liaison there. So yeah, we're excited. We're just thrilled to be able to help where we can and continue to build out the programming that we offer.
Yeah, and be sure to share this with people. It'd be like, hey, I took this class. You could say it was weird, this girl was rambling, but there's some resources on CCEDC's website. So really get the word out. I mean, because I think a lot of people have been feeling like they don't have the resources, but they don't have the time to go pay for these master classes, webinars. We're seeing them all over Facebook, masterclass, webinar, take this, you know, but if your own community has it, it's geared to what your community needs. And it's geared to what you can give to your community. And then it adds that collaboration piece for us to really work together to, you know, really come out on top after the COVID crazy's over.
Hopefully soon. All right.
Thank you.
That is it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen if I can.
So I hope everyone has a great New Year's celebration.